Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I drove down to Florida yesterday, and this happens to me every time. In crypto, if the news is pretty dead, and I decide I'm going to drive somewhere for the day or whatever, that's when the news just starts going nuts, and that's what happened yesterday. So there's a lot to talk about today, a lot of really good news coming. Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple, Christmas stay vigilant. Check out Scamberry Pie for more info. It's like an awareness campaign for scams in crypto. Apparently, I don't know if this is a book or a pamphlet or something, but they're saying you can get your Scamberry Pie. You can click on these and you go to scamberrypie.com. And it says orders can be picked up at this one's. There's 3 locations. Once you place an order, you can go to these in New York, Los Angeles, London. I'm assuming this is some kind of pamphlet type deal that you get for free. Now, when you know what I'm doing to prevent scams, that's keeping my stuff, a lot of my stuff on iTrustCapital.com in free institutional grade custody. Somebody was telling me the other day they were paying somebody like 0.5% to 2% for custody of their crypto. That is insane. Mine's parked in free institutional custody at iTrustCapital. Look, folks, while we're sitting here waiting on these markets to really take off, don't pay anybody. I'd say a few things. Don't pay a middleman to do anything, first of all. Don't pay anybody money to custody your digital assets. That is insane in the environment we're in. But I wanted to show you this, because this might, I don't know, I haven't talked to iTrustCapital yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't see these new Trump accounts start popping up on some of these crypto exchanges like iTrustCapital.
Today is Giving Tuesday. I don't know if anybody's heard that one before, but it is indeed Giving Tuesday, one of the biggest days of the year for philanthropy and charitable giving. And this afternoon, Michael and Susan Dell are committing to one of the largest private donations in American history, which will directly benefit the next generation of American children through the new Trump Accounts program that we created in our One Big Beautiful Bill.
Now, there's a good explanation of how these Trump accounts work.
This is how these accounts will work.
Let's look at this account with $1,000 from the U.S. government for babies, invested in select stocks and ETFs. I bet they're going to put some of this in crypto because they know that this is the birth of crypto. Tax-free growth until withdrawn at age 18. U.S. citizens born 2025 to 2028 are eligible. No income limit. Must have a social security number. And then it says, let's move
and
to this
how
slide.
Others, as we've been saying, can get.
Parents can contribute up to $5,000 annually. Employers up to $2,500. Money can be withdrawn at age 18 for education or other qualifying uses. Like 18, account functions like a traditional IRA. That is going to be huge. I've already asked the guys at iTrustCapital if they're going to be allowing Trump accounts. That would be huge. For me, it's going to have to be for my grandchildren because can't do it right now. But if you haven't opened an iTrust, forget Trump accounts, you can open a Roth IRA at iTrustCapital, folks, right now. It's the best thing I ever did. Or you can get a premium custody account if you want to be in control of all of it right now. $100 funding bonus. Go to iTrustCapital.com/XRP Army. You can get that $100 funding bonus. The market is kind of sitting still right now. 315 trillion. It moved up yesterday. And boy, do we have a lot of huge news. Huge news. Bank of America private Bank and Wealth Management, one of the largest in the country, over $2 trillion, announced they will allow advisors to allocate 1 to 4% to Bitcoin starting in January. Now, they didn't say Bitcoin. They said for investors' strong interest, modest allocation of 1 to 4% in digital assets. Now, Hunter Horsley is one of the good guy Bitcoin maxis, but this is what our industry has dealt with for a long time, is everybody uses the word Bitcoin instead of crypto. When they're not saying Bitcoin, they're saying digital assets. It's game on. This is literally what I told my wife in 2014, but because I had been a financial advisor at Morgan Stanley at the time. I'm not now. At the time, I saw this just as a new asset class for investment. I didn't realize how big it was going to be. But at the time I told her, I said, look, if this is what I think it is, it's the second coming of the .com boom, but it's for money. And there's going to be these are going to be on Wall Street, ETFs. What I didn't realize is how corrupt our government was, and that we had a government that was going to try to stop crypto instead of what they did with the internet boom, which was allow it. We're now past that. Confirmed by Barclays, 2026, right here from Smoke. We believe that 2026 is poised to be the year of regulatory reality, a time when a solid global frameworks move from theoretical discussions to active implementation. We are there, folks. This was yesterday. Chad Steingraber, who's all over the ETFs, all XRP ETFs on Vanguard today. So all of the XRP ETFs were available yesterday. At Vanguard, starting yesterday at Vanguard. Spot XRP ETFs have recorded 11 consecutive days of net inflows since launching, adding another 89.6 million on Monday and seeing a total cumulative inflows of $756 million. What is that? I hadn't done the math. Let me do the math right now. What's the price of XRP right now? I'm looking at my phone here. Come on, 217. So at today's price, 756 divided by 217, they've taken roughly 348 million XRP off the market. And if you remember, a lot of these ETFs launched when the market was pulling back, so it's actually more than that. Huge, folks, really huge. We've only been at this for about a week. What does it look like in a year if 348 million XRP has been taken out of circulation? And then here, look, folks, I'll say it again. This is about the 7th or 8th time that Trump has brought this up. There's obviously a there. If this happens, it's not just going to be crypto that booms. It's going to be the entire economy, maybe the world economy.
That at some point in the not too distant future, you won't even have income tax to pay, because the money we're taking in is so great, it's so enormous, that you're not going to have income tax to pay.
All right. Make IPOs great again. This is going to be a part of it, just like it was in the .com boom. I believe 2026, you're going to see mega crypto IPOs. You're going to see this all go off. You can tell they're all setting it all up. And then, this is hilarious what he says about the Fed chairman. He's about to replace the Fed chairman. We're about to get lower interest rates, too.
Down 86%, thank you. And mortgage rates, despite the fact that we have an incompetent chairman of the Fed, a real dope, who should reduce rates. I saw even Jamie Dimon said he should be reducing rates. I never saw Jamie Dimon say that. I wonder why he said that. But he really said it because he's right. But we have a guy that's just a stubborn ox who probably doesn't like your president, your favorite president. But they're going to be coming down. We'll be announcing somebody probably early next year for the new chairman.
The setup is unbelievable. Here's the Treasury Secretary.
Mr. President, it's been a great year on the economy, but the best is yet to come. The tens of trillions of dollars that have come in investment, both the portfolio investment by companies, investment by countries, that it's turning into a CapEx boom for the U.S. Capital expenditures up 15% in history. That when CapEx is up, jobs will follow. The one big beautiful bill, incredible, as you said, thanks to your leadership, along with Speaker Johnson, Senator Leader Thune, we had that done on July 4th, which everyone said was impossible. And the great thing about that bill, sir, for the American people, it's for industry, 100% expensing, build your factory here, you can write it off immediately, but you also insisted on the 4 benefits for working people: no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, auto deductibility for American cars, and that is retroactive. So as a result, in 2026, we are going to see very substantial tax refunds in the first quarter. So the best way to address the affordability crisis is to give Americans more money in their pockets, which is what this bill has done. We're going to see real wage increases. I think next year is going to be a fantastic year. Taxes, deregulation, energy certainty. That's why everyone with your leadership is coming to America. Bond market had its best year since 2020. Everyone said couldn't be done. So we're going to have growth. We've had 2 4% quarters before the Schumer shutdown. We're going to go back to that. So not only are we going to have great growth, but it's going to be low inflationary growth. And stock market obviously is following, but next year is going to be the year for Main Street as all this kicks in. And you came in, immigration, I called it the 3 I's, immigration, interest rates.
I will go ahead and say it, folks. I was there under Trump in the 2017-18 bull run for XRP. The table is set. I believe you're about to see a repeat of that. No question in my mind, you're about to see it. And then here he's talking about the tax refund.
Next year is projected to be the largest tax refund season ever. And we're going to be giving back refunds out of the tariffs because we've taken in literally trillions of dollars. And we're going to be giving a nice dividend to the people. In addition to reducing debt, we as...
All right, let's see what else we got. Yeah, now this is huge. I'll finish here from Paul Barron. The Fed just doused the flames. 13.5 billion repo injection, second largest since COVID. After months of burning through liquidity, QT, they're flooding the system again. Here's the pattern. When the Fed brings water, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP brings the fire. Risk assets don't cool down when liquidity flows, they ignite. Watch what burns next. I think we're going to blow past the XRP all-time high sooner rather than later. In the meantime, as long as we're down here, I plan to accumulate. But first, I've got some Christmas shopping to do. Okay, I got a lot more in DAIXRP.com, the Patreon. If you'd rather join through YouTube, click join below any of these videos. If you'd rather join through X, hit subscribe. We do the full video plus the extended video with 0 commercials. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe. Hit the like button. Tell your friends and family. I'm calling it here. 2017-18 repeat, maybe on steroids. Here we go.